Hi, I'm Liz Jones-Twomey. Welcome to
Matthew.
and Liz with Tuesdays with Twomey. I'm here today with Matthew. What grade are you in?
Grade 1.
How old are you?
6.
6 years old. Matthew wanted to show people some of the things he does in his classroom in a calming area. What are some ways you feel at school?
Frustrated, silly, angry, and happy sometimes.
And so when you get angry, how do you feel inside?
Mad.
Yeah, not good. And so Matthew has learned some calming techniques, and in his classroom, he has a calming area he can go to. In my classroom, this is my classroom where I teach grade 1, 2, we have a calming area here as well. And you will notice, you'll see things like I have 2 big pillows, I have some sensory items that can be used for calming. We use those. A yoga mat. I have a timer, so sometimes we might just be 5 minutes in the calming area. Sometimes having a visual timer and setting it, depending on the child, it might stay here, it might go another part of the room. But I have different things, so kaleidoscope just to change focus. You might want to squeeze plasticine. If you were feeling angry, if you squeeze that, how would you feel?
Angry.
Sometimes that's a good way to get out some frustrations. If you go to a different room, you have a sensory room, you might have proprioceptive things that they could use, like a sock that they could push out in. But we're going to show you some things you can do without any tools. Okay? I'm going to put these down. So Matthew, if you get frustrated, what's one thing, or say there's other children watching, what's one thing they could do? Easy peasy thing to do.
Hook up.
Okay, let's show. How do you do a hookup?
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Down.
Okay, now let's go slow because they have to follow us.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs down. Cross. Hook up. Hook your hands up and then you be breathing 7 times.
Okay, so you breathe in. Bring the tongue to the roof of your mouth. Blow out. So nice gentle breaths, right? So breathe in. Breathe out. You keep doing the breathing. When you breathe in and you bring the tongue to the roof of your mouth, that activates the limbic system, which helps with calming. Now, if we go slower with our breathing and breathe out, you say do this about 7 times. Could you do this sitting up? Could you do this laying down? So could you do this at your desk? What would it look like if you came to the calming area and you just wanted to lay down during the hookup? Do you want to show us? Yeah. So you could come to the calming area. You could lay on some pillows. Yep. Cross your ankles. You could have your eyes opened or closed. And just take in your own deep breaths. And then breathe out. Sometimes the lower you are to the ground, sometimes that's a little bit more calming. So you could do it sitting at a desk, or you could teach children to do a calming technique like the hookup. And the hookup is part of a brain gym movement designed by Paul Dennison. And I generally tell the students when they come here, 5 minutes. So even if they're calm, they could stay in a hookup, they could read a book. So that's one technique you could do for self-regulation. So Matthew, what's another self-regulation technique you could use?
The Moro.
Right, so the Moro pattern. So Dr. Harold Blomberg has done a lot of work with reflexes. A lot of times you see children in your class who have issues with self-regulation. Often the Moro reflex is still active. So let's just show what it looked like for a baby. Okay, so when the baby's first born, they take a deep breath, they go out, they feel kind of scared, then they go, I feel good, come back in. They get startled, and come back in. So what we want to do is we're going to put your head down for a second, we're going to show you how you could do the Moro pattern in a calming area. You also could do this with your whole class. This is something you do for calming? Okay, so you can do your own self-isometric in the classroom, right? Okay, so Matthew's already, he loves doing this position, don't you? Okay, so knees are bent, legs are up off the ground, he's lightly going to put his hands on the front of his knees. What he's going to do is he's going to breathe, take a deep breath in, he blows out, and he lifts up for a count to 7, gently pressing his knees into his hands, and then go down. Okay, important they're lifting their head as well. So he's going to breathe in, breathe out, lift your head, gently press your knees into your hands. 4, 3, 2, 1, and head down. He's repeating the Moro pattern. So breathe in, lift up your head, look at your belly button, and gently press your hands. Yep, and your knees are gently pressing into your hands. And then breathe out. And you want to do this about 7 times. So breathe in, breathe out, still looking up. Was that tricky to do? Okay, and down. Some children will have a real struggle with this if they don't have the tonic labyrinth neck reflex integrated. So you might find children who can't lift their head. So pretend you can't lift your head. So you're going to breathe in. He can't lift his head. I'm just going to gently help him. Okay, gently press into your knees. Breathe out. 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Okay, so you could do that 6 to 7 times. And then the other way we can do this is we put your hands on the back of your knees. What's the most important part about this?
To keep your head down.
You keep your head down. Really important. Your chin is tucked in, just a tiny bit. Okay, you don't want to put yourself in stress doing that, just a tiny bit. So he's going to breathe in, and he's gently going to press into his hands, and the hands are going to try to resist the knees, and breathing out. So breathe in, knees lightly pressing, resisting with your legs, and breathe in. Again, the breath is really important. Breathe out, make sure you keep that chin tucked down just a tiny bit. And breathe in. And breathe out. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then one more time. He's going to breathe in. Remember, try to gently, he's going to try to push his knees out a bit, and these hands are just lightly resisting. How many times do you think you should do this?
Maybe 5?
Yeah, 5 to 7 times would be a great way. How do you feel right now?
Good.
Great. So that is the Moro pattern. Oh. Do you know what that would mean?
What?
How do you feel right now?
Good.
Are you able to come back and join our class?
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you tell them? So in your classroom, what could you do with this then? So if you get feeling anxious or frustrated, what are you going to do?
The Moro.
The Moro pattern?
It was only set for 10 minutes.
Yeah, and the hookup. And he just noticed his time was up here. Sometimes we set that timer and that would just say, are you ready to come back and join our class? Yeah, and it's just as easy as that.
I'm in control.
I'm in control.
Hey, that's my goal.
Be in control.
I'm in control of what I do.
Well, how about you?
Only the losers always lose it. But I can choose to keep control. Well, pardon me, but I can see that what you did's not fair to me.
So be a baby, start to yell and scream and lose it.
No, I refuse to lose control. I'm in control.
I'm in control.
Hey, that's my goal.
Be in control.
I'm in control.